Fluid Power System, 7th semester, Mechanical, subject code 17ME 72, module number 5, Pneumatic Control Circuits, lecture 4, Multi-Cylinder Applications. Disclaimer. This PPT has been prepared by referring many sources which include figures, diagram from internet as well as from the prescribed textbooks and reference books. I do not claim any originality in preparing this video or PPT. This PPT or video is exclusively for purpose of education, not for any financial gains. I wholeheartedly thank all those who have directly or indirectly contributed to do this PPT and video. Hello, hello. Multi-cylinder application. Given sequence for clamping and stamping is A plus, B minus, A minus. As per the given sequence of clamping and stamping is A plus, B minus, A minus. So for that one to get A plus and A minus we require a cylinder A, and to get B plus and B minus we require a cylinder B. To control these two cylinders we require a main valve, that is 5/2 pilot operated control valve, right, with the two different valves for two different cylinder. Initial first step is we need to draw a displacement step diagram. So displacement step diagram means it will going to be indicate the individual cylinder position step by step. In this one, the displacement with the step by step we can able to observe where is the cylinder A and what is the position of that one and what is the status of that particular cylinder, that can be identified using the displacement step diagram. So in this one you can see the first graph. Initially when you say A plus is the signal, so when you say A plus we require the cylinder A will move forward first. When you reach the end position, the cylinder B will start moving. Then after reach the end position cylinder B need to retract first. After cylinder B retraction, cylinder A need to retract. In between A, after cylinder A forward, it need to hold stay in the same condition till the cylinder B move forward and retract back. And simultaneously when the cylinder B is moving, cylinder A is going to be holds its position. It holds its position. Initially after the forward, cylinder B will forward, then cylinder retract, then cylinder A will retract according to the given sequence. After that we need to draw a displacement step time diagram. This is with respect to the time interval. How much time the cylinder A it will take to move forward, then how much time the cylinder B should hold at same condition. Those things can able to identify using here. See, initially first what we have cylinder A. For example, it will take 5 seconds to move. Cylinder A will move first, right? After 5 seconds only cylinder B start move forward. So when cylinder move forward, after 10 seconds cylinder B need to retract back. After cylinder B retracted, cylinder A need to retract. But here also the cylinder A also 10 seconds need to be 8, and the same way cylinder B also need to be constant at that particular time. Nothing but there is no any functional work. Right? That is with respect to displacement and time diagram. Next we'll have the input flow signal. How the input signal will flow. To flow signal we have a limit switches. Say example we have a A0 and A1 is the two limit switches will indicate the position of the cylinder A. Nothing but the initial condition of cylinder A is going to be signal indicated by limit switch A0, and when the cylinder move forward, when it reach the end position, such A1 piston will going to indicate the second position. And the same way in cylinder B also we have two limit switches, B0 and B1 will indicate the positions of cylinder condition, whether it is in the forward condition or whether it is a completely retract condition. So how the signal will flow? First, initial A0 when should be give the signal, right? The cylinder A is at the initial condition. Then it will, when you give the start command, according to the feedback from the A signal, A plus will takes place. When the A plus will reach, when the A plus nothing but cylinder A forward. When the cylinder A forward is done, immediately it will actuate the signal, or what you call limit switch A1. When the limit switch A1 is activated, limit switch A1 will generate the signal to B cylinder, so that cylinder B should move forward. According to the cylinder B move forward, when it reach the end point, when B1 signal will going to be generated. Here it is the B1. It is missing. So here it is the B1. When the B cylinder forward, it will hit the B1 limit switch. B1 limit switch generates the signal, so that it will indicate that next sequence is B0. Nothing but B should retract. Cylinder B should retract. Then cylinder B will retract. When the cylinder B retract, it will generate the B0 signal. B0 signal will give a input to valve which is controlling a cylinder, first cylinder, or you can say clamping cylinder, so that cylinder first cylinder will also retract back. Nothing but our cylinder A will retract back. When its cylinder A retract, it will generate the A0 signal. That will be the A0 signal, input signal for the next cycle. Input signal for the next cycle. You can see here. When the cylinder A plus mode, it will generate the A1 signal. A1 signal will input for the cylinder B. When the cylinder B move forward, it will generate the B1 signal. That will be the input for cylinder B to retract back. When the cylinder B retract back, it will generate the signal as B0. The B0 signal will be input for the cylinder A to retract. Then the cylinder A will retract. Then A0 will generate the input signal. That will be the input for the initial condition to start next cycle. This is how the signal flow will takes place in the given sequence: A plus, B minus, and A minus. Next we have the circuit diagram where the cylinder A and B is connected with the two memory valve. Then two memory valve will have an input signal from the limit switches. That is the roller operated limit switches. First I will explain the circuit. That is the initial condition of the circuit. See, in the initial condition, A1 A1 limit switch is giving a signal. A1 limit switch is on because cylinder is at the retract condition. In the same way, cylinder B is also under the retract condition. Even that is also generating a signal. So it will be getting a two signals. That is the initial condition. When you press the start button, it will generate a signal. Air will flow like this to first memory valve. Then the first memory valve will generate a signal to, it will allow air to flow to from compressor to cylinder piston end of cylinder A. Then the cylinder A will start move forward. When it move forward, it will hit a limit switch A1. A1 is connected with the cylinder B memory valve. Then A1 will activate. A1 will give a supply, which on limit switch A1 will give a supply. They give to main valve of B2. When the main valve is actuated in the cylinder B which is connected, so again it will give a supply to piston end of the cylinder. When the piston end of the cylinder is get a signal or a compressed air, the cylinder move forward and it will hit a signal of B1 or limit switch. It will hit a limit switch of B1. When the B1 will connected with the same memory valve, that will generate one more signal to pilot valve, so that it need to the pilot operated valve need to supply the air to rod end of the same cylinder. Then cylinder B will retract back. When the cylinder B retract back, it will hit a signal to B0. When the B0 is connected with the cylinder A, it will generate a signal to the memory valve of cylinder A which is connected, and that memory valve will give a supply to rod end of that particular cylinder. Then the rod end of the cylinder will get a compressed air. Cylinder A will retract and it will hit a limit switch of A naught. A naught is under the on condition, but start button is off condition. So this complete one cycle is going to be complete and it will stop till the next signal is going to be generate. This is how the sequence is going to be takes place. While explaining a previous circuit, I told that two signals. So here the main important thing, signal conflict. What do you mean by signal conflict? Signal conflict means the valve, the memory valve which is getting a two signals at a time. Memory valve is getting a two signals at a time. Then it could not able to switch over because both the side, because it's a memory valve is a two positional valve. So if you get at a time one signal, then only it can able to actuate. At a time if you get a both the side, if you get a air signal, the valve will not going to be switch over. So that will called as a signal conflict. So where is the signal conflict? You can see, as I said, initial condition, see cylinder A is also under the retract condition, limit switch is on, means first position. See the compressed air limit switch is on, right? And the same way, the cylinder B is also under the retract condition, limit switch B0 is also generating a signal. B0 is also generating a signal. From there also compressed air will come into the memory valve of 1.1. So when this valve is getting a both side signal at a time, then it is not possible to give a or switch over or do its function properly. This will be the signal conflict at valve number 1.1. We will have a signal conflict on 2.1 also. We'll see in the next slide. See, after the previous condition, after even though if you have a signal conflict, if you say I cut off the supply to this one, so I given a supply from this and cylinder start forward. When the cylinder move forward, it will hit a signal A1. A1 is also actuated. Even this is also give a signal to memory valve 2 and second cylinder also under the forward condition. Nothing but both the cylinder are under the forward condition. After in this condition, the next condition will generate the signal conflict. We'll see in the next slide. So when you have the see, when you have two cylinders are under the extension condition. See here the signal is A1 is also generating a signal. See A1 is also generating a signal. At the same time B1 is also generating a signal. See B1 is also generating a signal. So what will happen? The signal from B1 is also given to memory valve of 2.1 and signal from A1 is also given signal to memory valve 14. So this memory valve 2.1 is also getting a both the side signal at a time. So here also the signal conflict is coming to picture. So when you have a signal conflict, it is difficult to switch over from initial position to next position. To avoid this signal conflict, the cascade kind of method are introduced. Those things we'll see in the next video. The cascade method. We have one more exercise. We'll get into that one first. So this is the initial condition. If the signal conflict did not happen, then B cylinder B1 will going to be give a signal first, right? That will give a signal to the rod end of the cylinder B. Cylinder B will retract. When the cylinder B retract, B naught will generate a signal, so that B naught will generate a signal. So cylinder A is also start retract back. This is how the air will flow from B0 to memory valve to cylinder. This is the initial condition when A0 is also retract. This is from B1. So after the B naught signal, it will generate a signal, right? A naught. B naught will generate a signal to cylinder A. So when a cylinder A signal, when the B naught limit switch give a signal to 5/2 memory valve, then that will have an input supply from the compressor that will give a supply to rod end of the cylinder A. Cylinder A is also retract. That is A naught will generate the next signal to next cycle. We'll have one more exercise. We'll have one more exercise like given as the sequence is changed here. See the sequence A plus first, nothing but cylinder A first, right? It will push the component from the stack. Then cylinder B will push out the component from that particular stack to box, so that the next cylinder A will going to be retract first, then the cylinder B will retract. Right here the sequence is first cylinder A forward, cylinder B forward, cylinder A retract, cylinder B retract. We'll see the same kind of sketches in the next one. So here, yeah, here also the two cylinders are used with the different sequence A plus, B plus, A minus, B minus. To achieve this one, when I say to control two double acting cylinders, we require two memory valves, that is 5/2 position memory valves. Along with that one, when you get, if you wanted to draw a, if you want to draw a circuit diagram before that one, you should go with the first displacement step diagram, then displacement time diagram, and the signal flow diagram. First, we'll see the signal displacement step diagram. First, cylinder A forward, first step, then the cylinder B forward, then cylinder A will retract, then the cylinder B we need to retract, then this is the sequence of step diagram. Then this will be the idle time of cylinder A and cylinder B. Cylinder B initial time it will be idle, then after forward also it should idle till the cylinder A retract back, then the cylinder B need to retract, then will be idle time for next cycle, right? In the same way, here we have displacement diagram. First 5 seconds cylinder A will forward. After 5 seconds only cylinder B should forward. Then after B cylinder forward, cylinder A will retract back. Then the cylinder B will retract back. This is the displacement time diagram. Total it required a 20 seconds. By assuming each cylinder it required a 5 seconds to forward movement and 5 seconds for retract movement. It required a 20 seconds to get this sequence operation to complete. How the signal will flow? First, B naught will generate the signal, right? So that it will give us a signal to what do you call the memory valve of 1.1 of cylinder A, memory valve of cylinder A. So it will generate a signal and the cylinder A will takes place. When the cylinder A forward, it will generate the signal. A1 will generate the signal. A1 will generate a signal will uh, given to cylinder B, so that cylinder B will be forward. When the cylinder B forward, limit switch B1 will generate a signal. That signal will leads to cylinder A to retract back. When the cylinder A retract, A naught will generate the signal. That signal will give input to cylinder B, so that cylinder B need to retract. When the cylinder B is retract, again initially B naught signal will generate. That is the input for the cylinder A to move forward. The same thing we have mentioned in the displacement step diagram. First cylinder A forward, then A naught will be the signal for cylinder B forward, B1 will be the input signal for cylinder A, so that cylinder A will retract back, then it will generate the A naught signal. A naught signal will going to be allow the cylinder B to retract back, then naught cylinder signal will going to be generated using a limit switch, that will be the input for cylinder A to move forward. Next we see the sequence diagram. This initial position of the circuit diagram. So initially we need to draw a two cylinder, two double acting cylinder, then two limit switches for each cylinder and two memory valves, right, independently, which will control the double acting cylinder, and the limit switches are the input for the memory valve, and one we have a start button. This will be the start button to cycle start, and two limit switch for each cylinder to give a input signal towards the memory valve. So initial condition you can see here, you have a start button. From start button initially see here, cylinder B is under the retract condition, so B naught signal is already generated, so that will give a signal to memory valve, but when you press the start button, then only it will give a signal to 14, which is already open condition, but is the what you call limit switch B naught is already activated, but it doesn't have a input signal, so it is waiting for it input signal. In the same way, cylinder A is also under the retract condition, even that is also generating a signal, right? That generate will leads to cylinders to hold back its original condition. See, it has a input signal from the compressed air directly, that is given to memory valve of 2.1. So according to the 2.1 is also have independent in compressed air supply from the compressor, so that will give a supply to the rod end of the cylinder B, so that cylinder B is under the retract condition. So when it is a retract condition, then only it can able to generate the B naught signal. This is the initial condition of the circuit diagram to get a sequence of A plus B plus A minus B minus. Next we'll see the next position. When you press the start button, what will happen? See. Now, see here, once you press the start button, we know already B naught is under the initial condition. So it is generating the signal. When you press the start button of the what do you call 3 by 2 push button valve, it will give a supply to memory valve 1. Memory valve 1.1. So memory valve 1.1 is have a signal from the B naught, so that the cylinder compressed air will supply to the piston end of the cylinder A, so that the cylinder A will move forward. When it is move forward, hit the A1 signal. So that one we'll see in the next slide. When A1 cylinder is hit, when A1 limit switch is hit, see A1 is hit, so it will give a signal to memory valve 2.1, so that the memory valve will give a supply to piston end of the cylinder B. It will give a supply to piston end of the cylinder B. Cylinder B will start move forward. A1 will give the input signal to memory valve of 2.1. Next we'll see the next position. So when the cylinder B move forward, it will hit the limit switch as B1. When the B1 limit switch is input for cylinder A, so that cylinder A will going to be give a input signal from the memory valve, so that the input signal is to compressed air supplied to rod end of the cylinder A. Cylinder A start retract, that is the A minus operation, nothing but A retract operation. When it is A retract, the next condition is again it will come and hit the A naught. A naught will generate a signal, that A naught 1, A naught limit switch will generate a signal to memory valve of 2.1, which is controlling a double acting cylinder of cylinder B. When you give a supply from the compressor to memory valve, that air supply will give on to rod end of the cylinder B. Cylinder B is also start retract back. When it retract back, that operation is B naught operation. When the B naught operation is successful, it will generate the B naught signal. That B naught signal will be input for cylinder A to do next cycle if start button is under the press condition. But if the start button is off, B naught will generate the signal to make ready to system for next cycle. So this will come back to initial condition. When the B naught generate a signal, right, that will come back to initial position of the cylinder A will give a signal, but both the cylinder under the initial condition, nothing but both the cylinder under retract condition. Once you press the start button, the same cycle will take place continuously. Nothing but first A plus, nothing but cylinder A forward first, then it will generate a signal A1, that will be the A1 here, that will give a input to memory valve, that will give input to memory valve, that memory valve will give a input to cylinder B to move forward, that is B plus. When the B plus is done, that B plus cylinder B forward movement will hit the signal, hit the limit such as B1. B1 will generate a signal to cylinder A, so that cylinder A need to retract. That cylinder A retraction is A minus. When the cylinder A retract, it will hit the signal limit such as A naught. That A naught will give a input signal to cylinder B, so that cylinder B need to retract. Cylinder B when retract, again it will come back to initial position of initial signal is B naught. That is the initial signal for B naught for the cylinder A, so that cylinder A move forward. That is the input signal for initial condition. Thank you. For further details, you can contact me, Sandeep S, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Canada Engineering College, Pantola, and my mail ID is sandeepmysore07@gmail.com, and my contact number is 9900 Any clarification or any information, you can contact me with respect to this video. Thank you once again.